The worker bee is an astonishing creature. The female worker bee in a honeybee colony makes up 85% of the entire colony and does most of the work. Their work is crucial for the survival of the species. Honeybees, well, they're architects, they're engineers, they're builders, they're craftsmen, they're chemists, caregivers, and beyond. We'll be back in 5 seconds to talk about the astonishing worker bee. The name worker bee says it all. A female worker bee will do all the work in a honey bee colony. She does all the work necessary to keep a happy, healthy, and productive workforce. Their life is split into 2 parts. First of all, they only live 6 weeks, and their life is split into 2 parts. The first 3 weeks of their life, they're nurse bees and house bees. The second 3 weeks of their life, they graduate to become foragers, foraging for nectar, pollen, water, and even plant materials to make propolis. Before we go any further, please, if you're enjoying this video, won't you give it a like and subscribe to our channel. When a worker bee is first born, she is very hungry and wants to eat some honey, but her first job responsibility is to clean out her own cell. They go right to work as soon as they become an adult bee. And as I was saying, the first 3 weeks of their life, or 21 days, they are nurse bees, house bees. And her age will depend on what job responsibility she has. And you'll be astonished at their jobs and responsibilities. They've got to carry their own weight. Depending on your source of information, the honeybee responsibilities are the same. However, the days that you might read that they start these responsibilities might fluctuate a little bit, and they do overlap. One thing is for certain, these are the responsibilities of a honeybee. Right around day 3, they have a new responsibility. They become mortuary bees, or what I like to say, undertakers. The undertaking responsibility is to drag out dead bees and also larvae that died off. And they'll take the larvae and honeybees and take them as far away from the colony as they can. I've witnessed this actually, and they'll just drop them. And they'll take them as far away as they can in order not to contaminate the rest of the colony. I've always said that the honeybee colony is one of the most sanitary environments found in nature. At around day 4, honeybees will take care of newborn baby drones. Baby drones, the male bees, actually, when they're first hatched, don't know how to feed themselves. So the worker bees will take care of that responsibility. There's a joke among beekeepers that drone bees are fairly lazy. I suppose you could say that. They don't do anything in the colony. They don't have a stinger. They can't protect the colony. They have one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to mate with virgin queens outside of their hive. But eventually the drone bees, after a few days, do learn how to feed themselves, and they go on their merry way. At around day 7, worker bees graduate to queen attendants. Now, this is an extremely important job. Their role here is to clean and take care of the queen bee. They will surround her, primping her, cleaning her, and feeding her, because the queen's sole responsibility is laying healthy eggs. Along with grooming her, there is a responsibility of picking up on the queen's pheromones and spread that pheromone throughout the entire colony. Each colony has its own distinctive pheromone scent that we can't smell, but they can. That identifies their home, and it also identifies the fact that they have a happy, healthy queen. At around day 12, worker bees will graduate to pollen packing. They will be waiting for the foragers to come back from foraging with packs of pollen. These worker bees will take that pollen and place it in honeycomb cells, mix it with a little bit of honey so that the pollen doesn't spoil. And this is what is called bee bread. This bee bread will eventually be used to feed the brood. At around day 12, worker bees will graduate to being honey curers. They will place the honey in the honeycomb, making sure it gets to the right moisture content, and then capping it off with a layer of wax. Honeybees have wax glands underneath their abdomen that produces sheets of wax, and they'll use that wax to build honeycomb and cap off honeycomb when the honey is ready to be capped off. Also on day 12, roughly, they will become honeycomb builders. Again, they'll take the wax flakes from their wax glands and build honeycomb. And to build honeycomb for honey and brood rearing. Also on day 12, they will graduate to become fanners. They fan their wings to dehydrate the honey in order to get the right moisture content and to keep their entire colony cool and keep it at a certain constant temperature. Basically, they are air conditioners. Worker bees also have the responsibility of carrying water throughout the colony. Honeybees drink tons of water, and water is needed for a happy, healthy, and productive colony of bees. On their last couple of days of being a house bee, right around day 18, they become guard bees, guarding the entrance of their colony from intruders, unwanted visitors. Could be yellow jackets. The number of guard bees will depend on the time of season or time of year. The number of guard bees will depend on the time of year and the size of their colony and how much traffic they have coming in and out. On roughly day 21, worker bees will graduate to becoming forager bees, foraging for nectar, pollen, water, and plant materials to make propolis in their colony. They will do this until they die, basically. For the next 3 weeks of their life, the last 3 weeks of their lives, they become foragers and do their thing. One last thing I'd like to add to a worker bee's job responsibility is if they make it to winter, their job responsibility is to go into a winter cluster so that they can protect the queen during the winter months and keep it roughly 80, 95 degrees dead center for that queen to survive the winter months. But this is when a worker bee can live longer than 6 weeks. They ball up into what's called a winter cluster and they vibrate their bodies to get that constant temperature, keep that queen warm. And what they do is the outer bees will slowly work their way in and the inner bees will slowly work their way out. That way nobody freezes. That's it, the astonishing life of a worker honeybee. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, life is good on the bee side. Peace. Love that worker bee. Buzz. Worker bees do it all. Females rock. Worker bees are all females. Females rock.